August 12th. And we are going to bring forth some serious fire. Let me close that out. Everyone, please like and share this video. All right, y'all, and this video is going to be a clapback. Y'all know Josh and I like doing those clapbacks. We're going to do a clapback video on what is happening with this woman. I guess she calls herself Salty Lulu. It's funny because she actually said David Jose only has a degree in psychology. And it's strange because it's kind of weird that my degree that I do have makes a difference in how I deal with helping people learn the law and fight against government tyranny. Now, psychologically, guys, there is a problem with that because there is a message in what the messenger is saying. When Miss Salty is upset because I only have a psychology degree, it becomes an issue because she is inferring that I can only teach the law if I have a law degree. And I believe that that is the problem that we face as Americans today. It is the very problem and the handcuffs that destroy mothers and fathers across America right now. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to talk about in a second. Let me pray real quick. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for loving us. We thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for all the patriots that you have out there, Father, fighting and doing your will, Father, and lifting up the people and teaching them and having success, Father, in every area and in every arena. And Father, we just thank you so much for your goodness. We thank you so much for your love and mercy and truth. And Father, we ask that you bless us today and bless all the people under the sound of my voice. Give them strength, give them health, give them knowledge, Father. Give them all they need to survive and to do well, Father, and give them a mouthful of praise for what it is that you do. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right. Now, first thing I'm going to do is let me know if y'all can hear me well, if I'm staticky, if my voice sucks, if everything is okay. First thing I'm going to do, guys, is say I do have a degree in psychology. My psychology degree means nothing. 100%, nothing. I gained a little bit of study about a few things that help with the way that people think, right? But my psychology degree means nothing. And Mrs. Lulu, who we don't know who Mrs. Lulu is, she doesn't show her face and come out and teach people or offer anything to the people to help them to be able to stand and fight and be strengthened. She tried to make it seem like I attack women, like I went after something called supermoms that Mr. Frank or Clements made up. When really all I said is that Frank is talking about supermoms because him and Clements have been watching and they know there's a group of women called a real group of women that's powerful named the affidavit mamas, right? Barbara Odell, it's okay. The thing is that this has to be taken care of because this is how the country rises. And I'm going to say this. There's going to be some people who want to come on and tell me, David, don't respond, don't fight, don't do this. Not fighting caused our nation to be taken. Right? Not fighting caused the nation to be taken. Right now, there's a lot of people who don't have the ability to stand up and do things because they will not fight. And we've been so afraid of cancel culture. Everybody needs to act like we're on the same team. Listen, God tells you that there's going to be wicked people who Judas was with Jesus. and try and set him up to kill him. So why do you think that everybody who's around you is just on your side? Please stop with this foolishness, right? I am going to speak about what I speak about. And the reason is because I believe in fighting and winning, and I don't let people get away with foolishness and stupidity. I stand up and deal with it. And when we do, we see how ignorant it is, and then we learn how to win. So I'm going to give some examples. Miss Lulu is upset. She said, well, David Jose only has a psychology degree. That's true. I do have a bachelor's degree in psychology. Whoop-de-doo, so what? My Bible knowledge is way, way, way more important than my dumb degree in psychology. You don't see me being somewhere as somebody's psychologist. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason that I didn't become a psychologist is because I was offered money to keep people under my care for years when I knew how to solve their problem in minutes. When I could fix their problems in minutes, I was in with the counselor and I said, hey, so you're telling me I have to have these people and put them through a treatment program that takes 2 years, when I could just teach them how to fix this in 10, 20, 30 minutes a day, an hour. This is what I have to do. I have to pay people. I have to take people's money where they got to pay me for 2 years when they could have solved their problem and not be crying anymore after 2 days. That to me is crazy. So I said, I can't be this. I cannot play the game where I'm dragging people out through long processes of changing their thoughts when they could have that change happen right now. So if someone is dealing with a lot of pain that I know I can fix, you fix it, right? Now, they won't tell y'all this, but before I got into dealing with the law stuff, I was known as one of the best business coaches around. I was known as one of the ones who will take people who were afraid and help them to do the things they thought they couldn't do very quickly. Now, if you don't believe me, you could just, they killed my old Facebook. You could go look at the Miller sisters, Shanquilla Miller. I helped her do her first real estate deal, got her first deal locked up in the first day. You could go look up one of the biggest investment groups right now in America called All In Real Estate. You can go back to my 2016 real estate group and my branding group, and you'll find that they were in my coaching before they came filthy rich millionaires. Before they got on video and started talking and teaching people and doing videos to get themselves out there, they were in my course before they drove Rolls Royces and Audi R8s and all that stuff they're doing now. So you can say what you want to say about somebody who studies psychology. What I understand is that psychology helps you to figure out how people think and how to excel, make them excel quicker, right? So you get people like Darla B, who's watched me for a short amount of time. She's in the East Coast. She did a video. She's on my page featured, and I told people she's done a better job at speaking. I have never heard a speech that was better than hers, including any one of my own. So if I don't believe in women being powerful, why am I putting Darla B out there and saying that she's better than me? Why? Why? If you look at the affidavit mamas, they came to a class. I told the affidavit mamas, I said, listen, y'all did more with the governor and the legislature and moved faster when it came to the schools and what y'all have done than I ever have. See, a real teacher is going to bless the people to make the people better than him or her. They're going to teach foundational principles and build people up in their minds to the point that they will fight like crazy. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all know what the #1 fear is in the entire world? Is it getting burned in a fire? Is it getting raped? Is it getting shot? No. The biggest fear, everybody share this. The biggest fear in the world, is the fear of public speaking. The biggest fear in the world is the fear of public speaking. The number one paid business in the world is public speaking. The number one technique that you use to move the most people is public speaking. So if you look at Martin Luther King, he did public speaking. If you look at Malcolm X, who was rough, he did public speaking. If you look at President Kennedy, he did public speaking. The number one mover of people is public speaking. If you look at Moses in the Bible and Aaron, they did public speaking. When Moses had the opportunity to speak before Pharaoh, he said, God, what is it in me that allows me to be able to talk to your people and before this guy? And God got angry because he feared speaking. God said, am I not the one who made your tongue? Did I not make your mouth? See, we have a habit of fearing public speaking. Now I'm going to show y'all something that happens in the real world. See, when you are an investor, and I had to teach people how to deal with business, one of the first things they want to do is hire an assistant to take all their calls. They want to hire an assistant to process everything that has to do with speaking to people. Why? Because they are afraid of public speaking. So when somebody tells you, send an email to your legislature, that email lets you hide from public speaking. It lets you hide from being out there in the open where people can laugh at you. And where you fear people laughing at you, you will never have success, ever. Donald Trump, somebody tell me that Donald Trump has a degree in political science. Tell me. Miss Salty Lulu comes out and says, David Jose only has a degree in psychology, as if that degree in psychology is what's necessary to be successful in this world, to be successful with the law. What's funny is Donald Trump didn't have a degree in political science and didn't know a dang thing about politics. And he's come out and done more for the people than any other president in our lifetime. I dare anybody to challenge that. Trump brought together people of different races, creeds, ideas. He got treaties to come about, stop people from fighting and having war, but he's not a career politician. Trump is such a man that is not a career politician that he said, I'm not even going to take my paycheck. But Trump is the most effective, period. Now, these audit chat groups will say, well, David Jose doesn't have a law degree. Maybe they should listen to Professor Clements, who said the attorneys ain't going to come save you. Did he not say that? Their own connect, their own higher up, their own leader. Their own leader says the attorney's not coming to save you, baby. They can't. The Bar Association can't fix this, but she believes and their group believes that you have to be an attorney to teach people about the law. Let me ask y'all a question. These are the very issues and problems that got us where we are today. Think about it. If I have to have a psychology degree to teach the law, and the affidavit mamas who's been kicking butt across the nation don't have law degrees. I'm sorry, if I have to have a law degree, and they don't have a law degree as the affidavit mamas who've been knocking everything down, should they retire and stop all the butt kicking they're doing because they don't have a degree? Is she not telling y'all that if you don't have a law degree, you don't need to be talking about law? Is that not the very same problem that Clements admits is killing America today? The bar degree or the bar license, the bar Costco license is helping nobody do anything. There's not a single attorney in America who can fix our problem right now. None of them. The same attorneys who prosecuted people in US courts and state courts can't prosecute any of the bad guys for the actions they've done. Am I right or am I wrong? Y'all let me know. I mean, because if you need a degree to teach people, then you also can't teach your kids, right? A lot of us have failed because we believe that if we don't have a degree from some school, we're not capable of teaching our kids. A lot of us believe that if we don't have a degree from a school, that we need to follow what every medical person says. But we know that in China, they've always had better, I'm sorry, in the East, in China and some of those nations where they didn't have all these same things that we have, right? They've had better health than us, and we're supposed to be the best. As a matter of fact, the medical field has the most deaths of any other thing. Their errors have caused more death. But we're supposed to believe because somebody has on a lab coat or because somebody has a degree and a title and they call themselves Esquire that they're supposed to be the ones who tell us everything. But her own guy who is at the top of those pages from what they say, Clement says the bar attorneys can't save you. Clement started talking about affidavits all through. He asked us what the remedy is with affidavits, got on live and wanted to tell us that, how are you going to enforce that? Well, we have 2 audits now in Wisconsin through Carla and Aaron Yeager and the people there. And notice this, guys. They tried to say I'm some type of male chauvinist or something. Do I not work with Carla and Aaron Yeager, me and Josh? Do we not give them praise for all the hard work they've done? Heather over in Virginia, Amanda Chase, the senator here in Arizona, that's a woman. Candace Taylor, the affidavit mamas, Darla B. How many times have we put up stuff where women are blowing the back out of tyranny? Teaching them and bragging about how great they are. But they want to say David Jose doesn't love women. Y'all hear me say that I think Violet is a freaking angel. This lady blows my mind, right? She says stuff that lifts me up all the time, right? I talk to the affidavit mamas all the time. All the time. But it's funny. Professor Clements was talking about affidavits, but he said he was going to pour ice water on my affidavit. But now Frank is talking about super moms rather than the affidavit mama. See, Lulu made the mistake of trying to show a snapshot of what was said about the super moms really being the affidavit mamas. I was correcting the issue that Frank was trying to steal the idea and transform it to his own. So rather than saying affidavit mamas, he was saying super moms. Rather than Clement saying David Jose and Josh Barnett, how they do the affidavit process, blah, 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 he let Frank talk about how they're going to do affidavits to teach the legislature, which is what we've been teaching y'all since November, right? Now, if they just wanted to teach it, I wouldn't give a darn. But the problem is they're trying to tell y'all, don't listen to us, don't talk about the Constitution, don't talk the state constitutions, which are part of the process to get the legislature to do their job. They say, where's the remedy? Where's the teeth? These people swore that they were going to follow the state constitution. So if you don't use what they swore to, how in the world do you help the people to grow? Now, guys, y'all saw Candace Taylor yesterday trying to tell about affidavits and notices and grand juries and holding the legislature accountable with the Constitution. And y'all saw Mr. Frank standing next to her with his hand really close to the mic, and the other guy had his hand on the mic, and Candace was trying to talk. They were all over, right? And what happens is they're kind of like rushing her to speak, you get the feeling. And she's speaking really fast. And then he says, he's like, oh, you're Candace Taylor? Oh my gosh, wow. And then he's like, oh, I really didn't hear half of what you had to say, whatever, okay. Like, just like her, what she said was nothing. You got anything else? Why, if somebody is talking about something that will shake the nation and bring forth prosperity for the people, does he not say, whoa, 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 stop. What'd you say? The Constitution, affidavits, notices. Oh my gosh. I was just talking about that. It's Mr. Frank's idea. It doesn't matter whose idea it is. But if that's what's really important, and you say it works, and these super moms, which are really the affidavit mamas, are doing this, then why wouldn't you stop and tell her to explain herself? Because you've just been spending hours with filler just talking about stuff that means nothing, right? Talking about that stuff that means nothing. Now, they try to say David hates women and he doesn't love the women. Somebody just gave a testimony. Deplorable Rowdy Mom just gave a testimony. She said, Dave, you helped me when I needed you the most. I will always love you for that. Don't listen to people. You have true intentions. Now, Rowdy Mom can tell you that I've been on calls with them to work and help them to kick butt. And they actually kill some mandates in their group immediately, right? And in Minnesota. So when somebody says, David doesn't like women. Well, I'm not gay. Okay, let me stop. On top of that, I know that even Timothy in the Bible got his faith from his mother and his grandmother. I know that the Bible talks about a help meet. A man ain't even where he needs to be if he doesn't have a woman next to him that builds him up and leads him. That might not be a woman like your wife. That might be your mother. That might be your grandmother, right? But there's something that God put in women. I got to tell some of these women sometimes. I'm like, stop trying to bring me to tears, right? Because they've gotten so close to me. And they've been there when I went through fights. They've been there when I went through hell, and they message me and they say, David, keep going. God is using you. His spirit is in you, David. I can see it. Be strong, David. Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. They're sending me Psalm 91. There's not a lot of guys who just send me Bible verses, but there are some strong women that send me some Bible verses, and I thank them, and I know it's God. You got Crystal Nuttall in Arizona. I call her Mama C. Drop Bible fire on me like crazy. Celestial Wayne, like I said, Violet, Carla in Wisconsin. You got to understand that I know that the women who are going, matter of fact, it is mostly women that are going to the parents-teacher conference. It is mothers, right? It is mothers that are the ones who are going to these school meetings. You'll see mostly moms. And they are tearing stuff up. Connie, I ain't letting distractions happen or anything like that. What I'm doing is I'm clearing the air and I'm letting people see how foolish these words are. And Connie, I got to say that there cannot be division where there was not peace in the first place. These people, Professor Clemens has fought what I've done since day one, but we got audits. He doesn't. We got people who have knocked down mask mandates. He doesn't. He told y'all the Bar Association can't help y'all. This ain't a thing about division, because you've never heard me say anything about a Professor Clemens or Frank or anybody like this before they started this foolishness. You never heard me say anything about an audit chat until they started doing this silly stuff. But what we got to understand is, guys, these same moms who have been kicking butt across the country, why do they need a law degree to kick butt? And what lawyer has done anything for you during this whole time of COVID? I just want to be real, right? Let's just be real. Anybody who want to challenge it, challenge it. Show me the lawyers who got audits anywhere. Show me, right? See, we got to stop this foolishness where we cater to people who want to be soft and weak, period. And I don't care who likes me or not. What God said is what God says. The fear of man is a snare. It traps you. I teach people to go at those who are breaking the law with the law and show them how to stand up and show them what the freak is up. Y'all could ask Mr. Lugo, who has a health issue. He has muscular dystrophy, and I did not tell him, feel sorry for yourself. I saw his anger. I saw that he was mad, and he was bringing it to me. He's like, David, what do we do if we want to do this and they're not listening? You tell me what we do. He was mad. And I'm like, yeah, you have a right to be mad. But I'm not going to play that bull. I'm going to make you be what God wants you to be. So I told him, get your anus up and serve them and open on live. You tell them what the freak is wrong in front of everybody. And he got up and somebody was holding the mic for him, or he was holding it at first. And they said he couldn't hold it well because of his arm not having strength. And they said, sir, put the mic up to your mouth more. He said, my arm doesn't allow me to do it as well. Somebody helped him a little bit. And he used the affidavit and blew their back out in front of everybody. I'm not the one who will believe in anybody having a weakness where they can't do stuff. You can. If you can get online and you can type on freaking Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and all that stuff, then you can freaking fight and you can do other stuff. Don't tell me what you can't do. I believe that God has made you guys powerful. That's why I don't give a freak about nobody's big show. I don't give a freak about nobody's big name and big title. I understand that with God and with some courage and not fearing these men, that y'all will shake the freaking nation. And what's happening is people are believing and taking action and trusting in God. That's what's happening. And they're wondering, how is it that these people who have no name, who don't have billions of dollars, who have no stage, who have no platform, are kicking people's butt across the nation? How is it? See, when you look at it, they'll say, oh, David Jose is grifting. David Jose don't like women. Guys, hold on. David Jose gave thousands of hours of free knowledge across the nation. And homeschool moms that have no name, no title, no big amount of crazy money, no platform. You know what they said? The homeschool mom said, Dave, we know you're teaching everybody. We know that you're working to help people, but man, we think our school kids need to have this as a curriculum. You know how much school curriculums cost? Do you have any idea? That don't teach you your rights in the law? So they said, David, why don't you make a program for us and the patriot families we work with, and we will pay a membership fee if you would just do it. I said, okay, well, I'll make it cheap, like $200 or something, and y'all can share it with 3 families or a whole patriot group or your church. And you know what happened? What happened is they freaking got this affidavit class and started learning the higher end, high level stuff about affidavits that you don't have to know. But they learned, right? And they started teaching their kids and teaching other crews. And now it's spreading like wildfire. But even before that, we did all the selection affidavits for free for every state. Ask Matt DePerno if we charge money to help. Ask freaking Candace Taylor. Ask Tori and Karen and I'm sorry, Tony Shoup. Ask them if we charge. Ask AJ Todd or freaking Marilyn Todd if we charge for this. Ask Marcus D. Ask Neil Johnson. Ask Bahizzi. Right? I haven't been on Bahizzi. I don't think I've ever been on one of Bahizzi's shows. Right? They don't invite me on very many things right now. I haven't been on Nick Masseter. Ask them if I charge money for any affidavit ever. Ask them. Ask them. I don't charge for affidavits to help people get their country back. Now, the class was something specific that they asked me to do. If I didn't give a freak about the families that asked me to do it as women, I wouldn't do it. But I realized, okay, what up, Clovis? They're telling me right. I need to do it. Right? Just like when Josh Barnett tells me certain things. I know I need to do it, right? Carla messaged me, David and Kathy Human. David, you probably need to go to sleep, turn off your freaking phone for the night, right? Turn off your phone for the night and just take a nap, man. Take a break for a second, right? Warren Bowden, same thing. He told me some of the same things, right? But what we got to understand is, guys, these affidavits were free. As a matter of fact, one of the people who were trying to slide in and take over the work in Virginia literally tried to take my affidavit class. Some of the people in the audit chat groups took my affidavit classes, and this is what they said. If y'all go back and look at Lulu's comments, she's going to tell y'all this. Everybody share this, please. Lulu said, David Jose, we don't need his affidavit class anymore because people have taken it and learned how to do it on their own. Awesome. So they'll tell y'all, we don't need David because we learned how to do it. So let's understand the psychology of this, guys, right? Because she said I have a degree in psychology. If somebody says we don't need David because we've taken his class and we learned how to do it without him, what does that show y'all? What does that show y'all? That shows y'all that they understand that David knows what the freak he's talking about. And their ideology is, let's hurry up and learn what he says and what he knows so we can kick him to the curb and do it without him. And I don't give a freak if I'm on a curb or not. Josh has invited me to some of these big rallies. And you know what I do? Nothing. I don't go. I don't go, right? People are like, Dave, you need to go to this person's big old what's name. I'm like, I'm not invited and I'm not going. No big deal to me, right? So I've never been the one to want to be in everybody's spotlight. I don't give a freak. But they have sought me out and they know those affidavits freaking work. That knowledge freaking works. That's why Clemens is trying to absorb all the power of the affidavits and take it over. Hold on one second, guys. Now, what's funny, guys, is, you know, Lulu is fighting another woman over affidavit chats where it is said that Lulu stole some of her affidavit chats. Now, at first, I couldn't believe the lady when she came to me and said, you know, this Lulu lady took all my chats and ran away with them and they try to kick people out. They were kicking people out of my groups like she was a plant or something. And I'm like, I don't know if I can believe this. But then when I watch, and I see that Lulu came out and said, hey, Cliff, Wisconsin. When Lulu says we can get rid of Dave and use his stuff, I'm like, you know what? The affidavit mamas right now can get rid of me and use everything I gave them and be better than me. It's just real. Why? People will tell you in my real estate and medical commodity coaching, which we were the leading medical commodity entity in the whole nation. Nobody was bigger than us. We ran the nation. What's funny is that the people realize that I never held back on giving them the power to be a beast. And they freaking would become monsters. And some of them would make way more than I made. There was no jealousy from me. There was no jealousy for me. I want people to be freaking monsters. We can all have what we want to have. We can all have what we want to have. My goal might be to have a dusty old car that's from the 30s as a rat rod, and somebody else might want a Lambo. I just want you to be happy with what God has given you. It's not a competition between me and the people who I help build. It's not a competition. My dad always told me, give people their props, right? Give people their props, their proper respect, their proper dues, right? So when somebody does something good, you give them their props, and that's how we grow as a movement. That's how we kick butt. That's how we win. But understand, it doesn't take a degree. Which one of your forefathers who were farmers had a degree when they helped write the Constitution? Think about it. We got people who were farmers, blacksmiths, teachers, or whatever. And these people didn't go to Harvard. They wrote constitutions across the country. And people want you to believe, they want you to believe that you gotta have some degree to be successful. What about common sense? Trump was not one of the ones who got a degree in political science, but he's done more than anybody else that I know of in government. Y'all want to know another person who I know who I don't think has a degree in anything in government? Josh Barnett with his crazy self. Josh Barnett, right, is a gym owner, multiple gyms. Josh Barnett is a man's man, full of testosterone, deep voice, don't give a freak, stand up like a boss in front of anybody's face. People start talking stupid, he let it go. He don't give a freak any day of the week. He's a fighter, right? I don't know what the freak Josh Barnett has a degree in, or even if he has one. I know he played for a really good school that was kicking people's anus all across the country, right? But Josh Barnett is responsible for opening up over 110 businesses, and we got another 50 to 60 ready to go right now. We got another one that we got to finish by today. People across the country who don't want to get locked down, who don't want to be forced to do mandates, it was because Josh made the idea to go nationwide and start helping people across the nation that these people still have their entities functioning and being able to live today. Now, what's crazy is he has over 100 of these done. Josh was at the meeting with the affidavit mamas teaching them at Sophia Zori's house. I only met Sophia Zori because of Josh Barnett. I only went to the events to deal with the selection issues because of Josh Barnett. Josh Barnett brought me to the meeting with Kelly Ward, Republican chair, and Paul Gosar, congressman, to get this thing going and make the plan to show Trump how he can get the ballots, and he didn't do it because of some dumb lawyers. So Clemens was right. Ain't no lawyers helping us. They're going directly against us. But Josh, not having degree in law and not, I don't know if he has one in political science. I don't think. Josh, tell me if I'm wrong. Josh has opened up more entities and probably saved hundreds of thousands of people's livelihood. Every entity, all their freaking people who work for them, all their families, all the families of the people in the entity, and the kids that will come down the line who will need wealth to keep their family line going, it's all connected. So Josh Barnett did all of that, but Josh Barnett ain't even elected yet. So if you got to have a degree, or you got to be in some high level place, or you got to have a big name, or you got to be on somebody's stage, I don't see Josh at Lindell's event, but I see him opening businesses and saving them. I don't see Josh at Lindell's event, but I see Josh at the class one-on-one teaching the affidavit mamas. That's what I see. I see him leave his day to go help people. That's what I see. Now, guys, tell me, is this not the problem? They've been running the government, right? They say, oh, Clemens was trying to say to me, David, how are you going to enforce what you say when our people got the gun? Clemens, you think because your people got a gun right now, that knowledge won't change that? You have a gun because we allowed you to have a gun as the sheriff, as the police. So you think that everybody's going to find out what you're doing wrong, and that's not going to change the fact that you could even have a gun? Really? You really believe that you're going to stay in power when we find out you're liars and it spreads like wildfire? That's right, Thomas Lee. See, what we got to understand is that we're not playing any games. We're not playing any games. We're fighting hard as heck with real people. That's why I don't give a freak. But it does strike me as disrespect when you know that there's people called the affidavit mamas who are doing work, and you won't tell about what they're doing. You try to just make your own, and then you try to cut out me and Josh, which is fine. But the problem is, I don't give a freak if you cut us out. I give a freak if you cut us out and you don't know the next steps. Right? When your anus is trying to bring fire and you don't know the next step and you steal everything somebody got, you better learn everything they got first, then walk away. You don't freaking do it in the middle of the time where they didn't give you all the remedy. See, people were asking, how do we hold people accountable? Tell us in the crowd when the first day when Clements and the gentleman were talking, Frank. And people are like, how? How do we do it? And they would beat around the bush because they couldn't talk about the remedy. Right? They would beat around the bush because they didn't know all the remedy. So they say, well, you make calls to your legislature. You just stand up. People just stood up on the 6th. Not people crying about how we get them out. See, this is what happens when people tell you to do stuff, but won't give you real remedy and peaceful remedy and think about it first and lawful remedy. They say, go on the 6th and everybody just stand down there in the millions and we're going to have victory because we're going to just stand. We're going to just stand. Then they tricked some of y'all to walk into a building where they were setting y'all freaking up. I told Josh before people left, I said, why is Trump inviting people to come down there when his own mayor is telling people your anus ain't welcome here? Either Trump owned the house or Trump don't own the house. And from what I was looking, it didn't look like Trump was running the show. She's like, we gonna freaking cut off the freaking hotels and leave you on the street. I said, whoa, this sounds like prime stuff for them to get riot police to go bash people all night. That's what it sounds like to me. I'm just saying. And I'm trying to walk slow. But Trump invited people down there, and I knew, these people have been tricking Trump for a long time as the attorneys next to him, and they get him to do a lot of stuff, right? That ain't the best idea. But Trump believing in them and believing that some people want to do right, he rolls with them at some times, and then they get the people in trouble. Where some of those people were just down there to protest. Then they walked up on the lawn that they own. They walked up on the freaking, what's name? They had a freaking tour. And now they're sitting in jail 24 hours a day and can't even get out. It was a freaking setup. Yes, it was. It was 100% setup. So guys, people like that, Clemens say the police say, I mean, the lawyers ain't gonna help you. But him and Frank will get on the stage and say, all we got to do is just stand. Just say, no, get up and just stand up. Okay, so you're going to go in their face and stand up, and then what? They're going to look at you as aggressive and fire on you, slam you on the ground, beat you with poles? What's going to happen? What about you learn the law like your forefathers did, send them notices peacefully, affidavits peacefully, where they can no longer hide behind we didn't know? What about take back our grand jury so we can prosecute them rather than letting them prosecute each other? How long we've been waiting on Arizona legislature to get the board of supervisors in order? I'm not mad at them for the way they decide to do things. It's awesome to me because all it does is show everybody they're not capable of prosecuting each other. That's all I wanted. See, you got to be wise, guys. You put the power in the hands of the people who are working together criminally to criminally go against each other while you tell everybody else what they're doing. And everybody else is growing and watching from the sideline. These people fight each other, but afraid to prosecute each other or won't. That's what you call wisdom, right? You sit there and watch them destroy each other. You watch the affidavit mamas giving notices and affidavits to the governor. The governor started realizing he was messing up and too many people knew. And then what the governor started doing was backing down all the mandates. Then after the governor started backing down all the mandates, they went after the school boards. All y'all saw it. Y'all saw them go on the news. The news media and the deep state tried to meet them there at the public hearing. And they tried to clown them and say that their affidavits and notices had no legal effect. Then you saw the governor and the legislature, who they CC'd and taught the law to, start attacking the public school board. Then y'all saw us do a video telling that we're going to, one of our remedies is to take back their federal funds because the only reason they're attacking us is for the federal funds. Then after we did that, You realize the legislature just yesterday came out with a notice saying what? They're doing this and that bad to the people and they don't want to follow the law. How can we get them? Take their funds. I wonder where they got that idea. You don't think they're watching us and know everything we're doing? They know we were coming for their federal funds at the state level and the federal level. So in order to stop the lower level public school guys from attacking us, they say, well, we'll take your federal funding away. That's the only reason you're doing this anyway. Didn't I tell y'all Kelly Townsend said she would get them to end the emergency if they just gave her the $452 million in federal funds? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Oh, what's going to happen, Charlotte? Kumo can go to jail if we take back the grand juries. Kumo did wrong and they don't like to attack each other. But when the people stand up and say, we want to take back the grand juries, and any of y'all who won't do, part of their job is to impeach bad actors in the legislature. We shouldn't have to recall them. They should impeach them in one day. One day they'd be like, articles, let's go, right? Notice Kelly Townsend was upset with Governor Ducey. She did not write impeachment articles. Even though we saw Trump get impeached twice, you think the legislature don't know how to impeach? They don't want to impeach each other and they don't want to go after each other. Fine. Let the people know and we will do it. That's it. So guys, what we got to understand is the psychology of these people trying to take over and not knowing where to send you is a bad thing. Did y'all not watch yesterday? Did y'all not watch how Josh Barnett and I dropped a video showing 100% remedy from the legislatures of the state's own law books, their own procedure manuals showing that they can stand up and get audits? Did y'all not catch that? We showed y'all that we know the law better than the lawyers working with the legislature. We showed y'all we know the law better than the legislature. We know the law better than the governor, right? We showed y'all. So the thing is, guys, what you got to understand is the people have a battle that we have to fight. The people have teaching that we have to do. We have learning we have to do. And the funny thing, guys, is the whole nation is funding Biden to come attack us. They're funding the mandatory vaccines. They're funding the vaccine passports. All the stuff that's coming against us is funded by the people. And it's funny, guys, that people can say, oh, David Jose has a PMA that has a membership that gets money for affidavit trainings to help people learn better who asked for it. Think about that. They'll fund the whole freaking everything that's happening wrong in this nation. They'll fund it. But they don't call the government people who oppress them grifters. You're the funding source of those who are trying to attack us that you're asking me and Josh to save you from. You're saying, Josh and Dave, show us how to fix this. Stay up in the middle of the night. Dave, don't sleep. Josh, don't sleep. You better give us this now. But then you would call people grifters. But we got to have food to eat too, right? We got to have a place to live too. But you don't want us to sleep. You want us to do everything you want us to do. But you fund the people who are oppressing us. Billions of dollars, trillions of dollars. They can spend $9 trillion during COVID, right? Because they're getting it from the people. And then the people who you use to fight what they're doing and stop the mandates, it's like, no, you can't have anything. You're supposed to do all this for free, and you can't have a sandwich, Dave. Dave, you should do all this and not have anything to help you, your life, your family. You shouldn't be able to, when your little kids come back, Dave, you shouldn't be able to support them. So then if you want to call me and Josh grifters, you should call yourself a traitor to America because you're funding the people who you're asking us to fight. Now, Lulu and Clemens and all of them will say what we want work. Hey, I mean, the thing is that there's people who are single moms who we bought cars for. That takes money. There's people who couldn't pay their rent that we paid for. That costs money. There's people who didn't have food to eat. That costs money. And when people message us and say, hey, Dave, can you make sure we get this much money for food? We don't have any food. It costs money. Now, the same people who are funding the government who's stealing the money won't give some of these people money for food and clothes and shelter. But then they'll call us grifters. Kind of deep. Kind of deep when you think about it that way. But my question is, for this Lulu and Awdit chat group, Lulu won't even put her face on live. How come Lulu won't come on live and talk to us and tell us how she feels? Tell me how you feel, huh? Tell me how you feel. Lulu, I'll give you an invitation to come drop that smoke on me any day of the week and tell me how you feel. Tell me how much I hate women and how bad I am. Clemens came on, right? The savior for you guys who say that his group can't save y'all. Clemens came on, right? He came on and he tried to have a little debate. Didn't end well for him. But everybody realized that it ain't going to be an attorney that's going to knock us off our rocker, right? When God lifts you up, nobody else can take you down. And that's what people don't understand. They hate it because I keep saying God. One person said the other day, David loved God too much and talk about God too much, and that's why I can't deal with him. Good. Well, stay in your struggling spot. I don't give a freak. That's your choice. You can choose. If somebody brings a rowboat next to your drowning behind and you say, I don't like him because he praised God too much, and then you mad about not being saved, that's your choice. If you want to stay in the water and drown or play with the sharks, that's on you. I'm not playing with the sharks. But the thing is that we got to understand is, guys, is that the people have the ability to have victory. Clemens will tell you he can't do it and the attorneys can't do it, but they will use our stuff. And it wouldn't be bad if they just used our stuff. But the problem is, if you're going to use our stuff, be able to tell the people where to go next and next and next and next. Know how to help them win. If you don't know, y'all going to take a whole bunch of people in a direction that you ain't going to get nowhere good. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Right? Mike Lindell is busting his butt, putting his money where his mouth is. A lot of people going on shows telling people a lot of stuff and it don't cost them nothing. A lot of people have gave no real solutions to make stuff happen. He's put his money where his mouth is. Mike Lindell is putting the money out there. Losing $1 million, I think $1 million a day or a week, because people killing his pillow prosperity. Because he want to save the nation. And you got attorneys next to him who won't even help him figure out what the real law is. They're trying to put it out there. I mean, y'all saw Mr. Frank saying, oh, we're going to take all the legislatures up into the Lobo Cafe. And we're going to teach them how to do affidavits and get slaughters done. How? How are they going to do it when they don't know how already? Clemens don't know how. He was laughing at the affidavits. He thought that he'll get laughed out of court is what he said. Susan Sanbrino was on the same show saying, yeah, we'll get laughed out of court. But we're showing y'all the truth. They say David, Jose, and them are giving disinformation. So why we open up their book and smack them in the face with it? Nobody can deny it. Nobody can deny it. And these Awdit chat groups are being propped up and collecting people to sway them. I've seen this before. See, the attorney who helped write the ASFA law to help steal all the kids also has worked with Clinton, has the biggest group to supposedly help people who want to go and get their kids back. And they hardly help people get their kids back. You want to know what's funny? They got 13,000 members in that group. When I came out with affidavits showing people how to really get their kids back, that same attorney attacked and tried to sway all the people to follow her and say, don't do affidavits and notices. A Clinton attorney, y'all. I got a picture with her with Clinton. They're stealing the kids. This woman came out in a private message with another lady and said, you know what? I know they're stealing kids for organs, for money, and trafficking them, but you know, it's hard, you know. This woman told that she knows they're trafficking kids. Dang, they blocked deplorable writing mom too. They blocked a lot of people. So what you got to understand, people at the symposium have had their houses raided. See, guys, what you got to get is this. The attorneys attacked us when we started getting kids back and hired a fake news media guy who's writing fake articles that's hacking y'all phones when you look it up. Clemens shared the stuff. Freaking Gail shared the hacked article from traffickers who worked with Clinton to try to set me up to stop me from putting out there how to get kids back and win with affidavits. And I've shown y'all the proof and I can show it again. Gail shared that stuff and got Sophia Zori's phone hacked. I told Sophia, curiosity kills the cat. You click on those links, your anus is done. They got her phone and tore it up. Got another lady she knows. She sent it to somebody else. They got them. So the thing is, guys, these people are using fake articles, fake media, fake news, attorneys to sway people from what really works to keep people from moving forward. Clemens is working real hard. He got on Steve Bannon's shows. Bannon said, oh, 3,000 affidavits, something before the show. Then Clemens came in and started talking. Now, Bannon said one thing, Clemens said the other thing. They got on with Frank. Frank started talking about affidavit. Clemens started responding. It's really strange. Frank says, are affidavits evidence? Clemens says, they are 100% definitely evidence. Well, then why didn't you apologize, bro, when you were talking about pouring water on my affidavits? Why? See, guys, the truth is that we are fighting the biggest fight we've ever seen. God, let me see what happened with the CPS fight and how attorneys will try to steal the fight, how they'll pay people to do their dirty work and try to stop people from learning, right? Yeah, Lulu's a clown. Lulu just a straight up clown. I'm so tired of David Jose not liking women. What? Women are some of the ones who've been kicking more butt than anybody. And I've said that. And you ain't even got to look at anything I do new. Just go look at my YouTube now and see how many women I'm talking about and that I got up kicking butt around the nation, sharing their videos. From Amanda Chase to the Affidavit Moms, to Darla B, to all these other people. Just go look. See how many men I got up. Very few. Right? So guys, that's right. He wants control of the affidavits because he will slow down everything that's happening and he'll destroy the victory. Right? And that's how things work. So guys, if you're really trying to have success and win, they'll tell you. Y'all can see the post where they said, we got Davis affidavits and we know how to do it now. We don't need him anymore. Fine. Fine, until you need step 3. Right? But Salty Lulu will tell y'all herself, we don't need Dave, we just needed his knowledge. That's hilarious. We don't need that dude. We just need what he teach. But the Bible tells you how knowledge and understanding will prosper thee. It will give you honor in one hand and riches in the other hand. That's what knowledge does. So knowledge is what is used to create action that brings forth a result. It's not about what schooling I have. It's not about how many people I deal with. I don't have a Lindell in my portfolio. I don't have a Lynn Wood that I talk to. I don't have a Sidney Powell that I talk to. I don't have a Giuliani that I talk to. I don't have a President Trump that I talk to, but I got some real deal everyday people that lay that smoke and get audits, as Candace says, get them dang audits, get them big dog audits, right? I'm just letting y'all know we freaking win, and they know that we win, and they can try to hide it, but it really don't matter because the people gonna know. And every time they talk junk about us, what's going to happen is more people going to come try to see if what we're saying is true. Are they really guys who hate women and they're really bad? Let's go look. Lulu is one of the owners of these audit chat groups all around the nation that's banning people for talking about the Constitution. Guys, the Constitution, only people win because the Constitution, because we know it. They don't like people to say the word Constitution or Dave or Josh, so they just kick people out the group. And we're the ones who know the remedy. So you can't you can kick us out. And that's cool. We don't care. But you don't get the remedy when you do it. You see what I'm saying? You don't get the remedy. So guys, you got to understand that if you want to win and you want to have remedy, God chooses who he chooses. And it's not just about me and Josh. You can take me and Josh out of it and take some of the people who we've taught, and they can show you clearly how to get remedy and kick butt and fight. Here's what it is, right? Now, when it comes to higher level steps, there's some people around the country who know the next steps, and there's some people who don't. But you gotta fight. I think Lulu has a name, but Lulu hides her name. But Lulu's welcome to come on a show and show her face and talk, because I don't believe in downplaying women. I want you right here, face-to-face level, where we're on the same page, same level, Miss Lulu. Come talk to us, Miss Lulu. I think your name might be Mackenzie. I'm not sure. But come on over here, Miss Lulu, and let's have a discussion. Let's talk about stuff in front of the people. You can bring anybody else you want to. Let's have a talk. Let's have a discussion about remedy and law. And if you don't want to, then something is wrong. Something is wrong, right? Something is wrong. But guys, I just wanted to come on here and let y'all know what's up. You know, speak the truth for a second, lay that fire down, and you know, just deal with real life. You know, in real life, guys, we got a lot of victories all over by God. It's God that does it. It ain't us. We ain't nothing special. You know, me and Josh put our pants on just like everybody else. I think the affidavit mamas put their pants on just like everybody else. Now they got some bossy pants though. They're some bosses, so they're kind of paid. They got all the cool whips in the world, you know. But the thing is, guys, I'm letting y'all know that there's a lot of people out there who are having victory that are just regular people, everyday people. And we don't need any special name. We don't need any special qualities. Carla, I'm gonna talk about Carla real quick. I love me some Carla. That's cousin Carla from the Midwest, from Wisconsin. Carla, y'all, is the one who presented the affidavit from us, who started learning with us, to Aaron Yeager. And her and Aaron Yeager got the people going in Wisconsin to get the audit done. And they call for the audit now. So they did their work. They put the work in. I think it was like, might have been in July that they started doing this. And they're just regular, powerful women who love God. And we saw them dropping some freaking fire. We saw them dropping fire and teaching the people. And they were actually talking to this legislative representative that actually came out to start doing this work in this fight. We know them personally, right? It was deep because Carla had speaking engagements, and she had the opportunity to get out there and start talking, and she had a little fear at first. And she's like, Dave, I got to talk in front of these people, but you talk in front of people and I don't talk in front of people like you. And I said, girl, you bad as heck. You standing up. God is giving you this opportunity to shake the nation. You are okay. Aaron Yeager is the bomb. Like, I love me some Aaron Yeager too. But the thing is that Aaron and Carla started leading the people. Carla started talking publicly, and she wasn't afraid to go on. She was afraid to go on shows, but she did it anyway. And after she did that and continued to fight and kept going, she ended up in a situation where they were told that they were going to get the audit. They worked with the people that was necessary to get it, and God blessed them, and they made it happen. And we even saw where people were trying to take over the work that they were doing. They were trying to do affidavits, another affidavit signing at a event that was ran by a gentleman. And we talked to a lady who told us that they wanted to let this gentleman run all the affidavits from now on. Now, he has a contact with some other people who we've seen kind of block affidavits in the past. We gave them some affidavits that were supposed to go to a very high place, and they ended up not doing it. And those affidavits, we had to send through somebody else to get to Trump. But they were told that they can't do an affidavits table at this event. Now, what's crazy is when they were told that they could not do an affidavit table, it was that same night that the legislature was preparing to give them the audit and gave them the proof that they were going to do the audit first thing in the morning. So it's super, super, super huge, because what ends up happening is these people decided to take take action. And they busted some butt, and they didn't freaking do anything, right? They didn't do anything, right? That required them to have some license or some special name or anything like that. They just used what God gave them, and they got the victory. We saw in Texas, Sharon Yu doing the same thing. Sharon Yu doing the same thing, getting out there and giving people that smoke. When Sharon Yu started going after people and attacking people, right? When Sharon Yu started going after people, I had Salty Lulu's team and a couple other people and a woman with like 4 or 5 accounts come at me and try to attack, telling me, don't deal with her, don't listen to her. And I'm like, Sharon Yu is using her skills and knowledge to get that fire out there and doing what's right. Why would I ever disregard what she's trying to do because somebody comes and tries to tell me something to stop what I clearly see her doing? That is the work of God. Why? Why are all these people having to come tell us who not to deal with and to only deal with their people? And that we only need to deal with the lawyers, and we only need to deal with this, and we only need to deal with that. Sharon let herself get dogged. People spoke evil of her. And all she was trying to do was get an AUDI. Tizzy, right? Guys, we have the ability to stand up and fight. Heather Mitchell and Big Ryan out of Virginia, when they came to me, y'all saw Senator Amanda Chase tell that Josh and I were teaching her. And we were trying to keep that hidden. But yes, we do have a class where we teach every week. And the funny thing is, we don't tell y'all nothing about that because we're not trying to have a big name. We're trying to get people to serve a big God and stand the freak up like big bosses. And y'all know it had to make Clements and Frank and these people who are haters mad when a real senator comes out and says, oh, well, Dave and Josh, thank you so much for them. Because she knows the ones who are really teaching her. She didn't say Frank is teaching us. But Frank says, oh, I'm going to teach y'all how to do affidavits and notices. She already knows who teaches her. Arizona already knows. But Heather and Ryan loved us enough to say, some people hate on Dave and Josh. But I see them telling what's in the law and I can see it. So Heather and Ryan are responsible for us teaching Amanda Chase. It was because they loved us enough to give us a chance. Regular people. They weren't known as the most powerful people in the nation, but they put out a senator who's the most powerful in the nation. Amanda Chase gets laughed at by her colleagues, but she is a freaking monster and boss to the people. Why? Because of Heather and Ryan. Carla got a senator who is standing up kicking butt, and Aaron. Why? Because of Aaron and Carla. Because Aaron and Carla believed in Dave, Jose, and Josh enough to give them access to teach what the law says so they can take it and use it. See, powerful regular people have worked with powerful regular people to put out words of wisdom, even though we have no name. We have no big forum. We have no big organization. That's right. Josh said, Lindell knows my 2020 campaign people. Still haven't gotten a meeting with him. See, it's deep because I'm going to say this. Josh might not want me to, but I'm going to say it. Aaron Yeager and Carla were already putting in the affidavits on the day that Josh's campaign people, who were at the meeting where Aaron and Carla were already turning in affidavits before that, they asked Josh for an affidavit that day when they never used them before. When they got to the meeting and saw the effectiveness of an affidavit, they said, Josh, can you send us an affidavit? Josh said, Carla and Aaron already took care of it. Right? Why? Because the most powerful people are not the ones at the rallies. The most powerful people are the regular people who are taking the action to give the law to their government officials. Now, there's some powerful people at the rallies that are teaching people numbers and different things, and the numbers are good, probability is good, but that don't force audits. You don't take anything away from people's work, but it just doesn't force audits. I'm not mad at somebody who does numbers. Probability are important. If it's lightning outside and I ride my big hot rod that has a loud noise and it got a real big antenna, it's a high probability I might get hit by lightning. Loud noise and metal get you jacked up, right? So the thing is that what we got to understand is the people have been kicking butt behind the scenes. I'm telling y'all the names of regular people who've been fighting, and some people try to deter what they do. Marilyn Todd, AJ Todd, they both got affidavits from Josh and I. They didn't get charged for that. Matter of fact, she said, I want to send you some money for helping us. I said, no, you're not. Come on, Dave, you're putting your work in and your time. I don't give a freak. Look at what Josh said. We notified Byrne lead on audit stuff. Weeks go by, then we talk again. Weeks go by, I'm done. We don't have time for this nonsense. We will do it ourselves. We don't have time to play games. And that's the thing, guys. It's so hard for people who have all the money, all the law knowledge in school, and all these other places to just understand that regular people can learn the law, and we freaking wrote the law. Josh said, all those names on stage at Lindell event have my cell. They can call us when they want to know. I'm sick of chasing people. I don't chase. See, this is the thing, guys. We ain't got time left in this world to keep trusting government officials to do us right. The attorneys, Clement's already told y'all, ain't gonna do a dang thing. So we, the people, are the ones who have to do this. Clement submits it, but the people who understand the remedy, they're trying to figure out how do we take this from them and sway it so we can keep our importance and at the same time have success. And it's hard for them because what they don't understand is when God lifts you up, nobody can pull you down. So even though they attack Sharon, they attack Heather, they tried to say that Heather and Ryan were psyops or that me and Josh were psyops, but we're the only ones who are getting audits. Aaron Yeager and Carla, they tried to block them from doing affidavits. But the funny thing is that they were successful in getting the audit. The legislative body member herself, y'all saw that woman say in her letter, when she was speaking with Marcus D, she said, oh, I got correspondence from my people, tons of affidavits. That's not normal for any legislative body to say they got tons of affidavits. Yeah, and that's the thing. You heard Amanda Chase say, oh, David and Josh taught us Thank you so much. They taught us about affidavits and notices. We got 4,000 something at my house. She knows what's important. And then she said, oh, and I want to thank Frank. He's been on our calls. He's been on some of the calls. So he wasn't there teaching her, but he's going to act like it because this is what some of these guys do. But anyway, guys, we got to stand up and come together and kick butt. Y'all are the fighters. Y'all are the winners. Y'all are the strong people. There is no Dave and Josh without the team that God has blessed us with of amazing people who share stuff, amazing people who get out there and fight and teach other people, amazing people who will say, hey, go check this video out. You need to study this, bring a paper and a pen. Amazing people who have paid for people to have ink to print out their affidavits. Amazing people who have donated whole freaking printers. Amazing people who have freaking given their time as notaries to do notarization of all the documents. Amazing people like Aaron and Carla who give themselves behind the scenes, blow backs out, talk to the government officials when they could be scary and they're not. They overcome fear. Y'all got to understand, these are the freaking powerful people that are doing things behind the scenes. None of us got all these powerful titles and names, but all of us can come together and blow the back out of corruption. And I don't give a freak who is in the way. I don't give a freak what army, what nation, what team, what group, what political subdivision. I don't give a freak who it is. We are freaking winning by God because God has put us here. God has put us together for such a time as this. God has taught us how to overcome fear. God has taught us how to overcome doubt. God has taught us how to use the law. God has taught us how to stand up. God has taught us how to be strong. God has taught us how to fight. God has taught us how not to give in. God has taught us how to praise him for the good things he's doing for us. God has taught us how to praise him for the fight we're in the midst of. God has taught us how to laugh at haters who think they can stop us. God has taught us that no enemy is bigger than him. It ain't by our own might, baby, that we're winning these victories. It is by God and his power and his wisdom and his knowledge. And this is why nobody can stop the actions that are happening. This is why somebody who can't even get a real name but call herself Salty is so salty, because she's seen the real salt of the earth and she can't understand how the little salt that's sprinkled that comes from God and his body is so able to move the people and fill them up with stuff that is so mighty that it can't be touched. The knowledge is contagious. The courage is contagious. The fire is contagious, and nobody can stop it. Nobody can stop it. No group of people, no team, no attorney. They sent 73 Perkins Coy's attorneys to try to stop the little work that two little guys were doing, and they couldn't stop it. And we went through fire and went through hell, and people tried to laugh and mock and say, you'll never get it. They'll never listen to you. But they called Josh on his cell phone and give him reports of what's going on. I'm just telling y'all, you ain't gotta have the biggest name and all the money and all the accolades to be a freaking monster in whatever you do for God. And this is the truth. We are more than conquerors through Christ Jesus. We are able to subdue nations and kingdoms. We are able to knock down strongholds, tyrannies, oppression, lies, evil, wickedness, bad laws, and their bylaws. I'm telling y'all, we are experiencing a power that the nation has not seen before. People standing up in a way never seen before. And it came from God allowing us to suffer, allowing us to feel pain, allowing us to be redirected to him. So the people started to cry out and humble themselves and call out on the name of the Lord, and he is healing our nation his way, not their way, his way. And nobody can touch it. And I'm just telling y'all today, don't you ever Let anybody tell you what you can't do because you don't have a degree, because you're not this, because you don't have this much money, because you don't have a TV show, because you're not a billionaire, because you don't know this person or that person. It don't take a this person or that person. It takes a God who's all powerful and mighty. And that's what we're experiencing today. That's where our movement is so powerful. That's why it ain't falling. That's why we're still up. That's why we're still moving. And nobody can contest it. Nobody can stop it. The time is over for all the foolishness. It's over. Nobody's going to prevent the people from standing up and moving. So just stand by, get you some popcorn, and watch what the freak is happening. Not everybody is on the same team. Judas got Jesus killed and they were walking around together. Don't tell me that. Not everybody is about the same fruit. Not everybody is about bringing the same fire. Not everybody gonna put their life on the line, their sacred honor on the line, their homes on the line. Not everybody gonna do that, but we gonna do it. As for me and my house, we gonna serve the Lord. As for me and my house, we're going to do the unthinkable because we trust in him. Psalm 37, KJV, last couple of verses. The Bible tells you how God will deliver him because he trusts in him. That's God's word. He will deliver you in cases because you trust in him. That's why, not because you're great, not because you're smart, not because of your degree, but because you trust in him. See, guys, I heard it in a message that Mike Lindell got attacked outside of his house last night or outside of the event, something somewhere. Y'all got to understand, see, this is not a game. I tell y'all all the time. When you see the senators who work and fight with us, stand around them. When you see the Aaron Yeagers and the Carlas, stand around and protect them. When you see the Candace Taylor, stand around and protect her. How is it that somebody gives all their money, gives their sacred honor, gives their life to do events to help people see the truth and nobody stands around him? How is he walking alone? How is he getting attacked with nobody there to protect him? Something ain't right. Or in the elevator. How the heck are you not around him? That's right, Leo 71. How the heck are you not around him? See, this is the thing. Ask Josh and Candace, how is David with security? Is he always watching out for y'all? Is he telling you to watch your cup, watch your drink? Don't eat in front of these people. Don't shake their hands. Ask if I'm like that. How the freak do you have somebody fighting for the nation and then they get beat up by themselves? I just don't get it, y'all. See, this is what I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. How is it that you got all these people around you and very few have your back? Same thing with Trump. You got all these people around you telling you who to give endorsements for. And these freaking people don't even love you enough to protect you. Trump used to have to go out to McDonald's to get food because he knew they were trying to poison him. The freaking president of the United States going through the drive-thru to try to go get some McDonald's. Come on, man. We got to do better than that, y'all. We sitting here watching people getting attacked in our midst. We seeing people getting attacked in our midst, and we too scared to stand up for people. We see attorneys who try to get us the A words getting punished, and many people are too weak to stand up for them. It's crazy. But anyway, guys, I love the heck out of y'all. If y'all want to reach out to me, admins, can you put the group chat link to the Dave Jose YouTube fighters? I don't want to get trolls in Connect We, and I know that we got an issue where the trolls are very mad right now, so they're gonna have to come into my groups to try to find some content. Can't find content in their groups, they got to come in ours. Wow. Okay. So anyway, guys, I love the heck out of y'all. Hope this video was fire for y'all. We are powerful. We are mighty. We got a movement that's going and growing, and it ain't going to stop. I'm just letting y'all knowing it makes no sense. People be trying to hate, but the victories keep showing. God keeps flowing. The spirit fills us up. People could talk crazy, they could hate, but God overflows that cup. I'm going to end with a little rhyme. Tell Big Chap I said, what's up? We got a lot of crazy people trying to nut up. They don't want people to have victory. They don't want y'all to win. They're playing devil's advocate. They're really the devil's twin. It's kind of like they're sipping on gin. Their remedy is crooked. They tried to hate on me, tried to talk junk, and then I snatched their soul and took it. Boy, this junk is funny. They call Dave and Josh grifters, but they're giving the government their money. Then they say the government is oppressing. Dave and Josh, can we use your topics? I'm like, dude, you're trying to stab me with a chopstick behind my back. Stop it. They tried to use Dave's stuff, went on the top where his name is and tried to crop it. Took it to the affidavit groups, recreated it and tried to drop it. Taking credit like it's theirs. Trying to pick at David like nose hairs. Trying to eat meals like 3 squares. But won't come. Oh, shoot, I just messed up on a freaking freestyle. It got buck wild. I got to reverse it, bring it back somehow. They tried to hate on my affidavits. I need to go in the bathroom for a little bit and shave it. Get some lines going. Get the words back flowing. I messed up a little bit, tripped over my words. Do you know it? Makes no sense when you messed up on your lines, but I'm human and I do that sometimes. Dropping real stuff. Affidavit rough. Notice tough. Celestia Wayne can't get enough. Always dropping good fire. First love you, bringing that fire for hire. Drop it for free. Saw God, had to get down on my knee. Do it ×3. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. Anyway, y'all, I will catch y'all later. Y'all be cool. Y'all stay out of trouble. We winning.